All right, here we go. This is going to be a look at Stanley Kendall, Stanimac 12, the teacher predator, one of the teacher predators, the I teach math predator from the Murphy, Texas sting. This is a good one. Stanley, Texas is a little bit of an underwhelming episode. There's not many predators, but the ones that we get confrontations for are pretty good. We know I've already done Edward Hollingsworth, Twink Toilet, of course. I've done Alan Chernay, and now the last real notable one is Stanley here. Stanley's great. In case you don't know, he got trolled a little bit by the TCAP community into doing some pretty crazy shit. You look into that if you want. And it's really crazy shit, meaning literally he smeared shit on a mirror for the entertainment of tons of TCAPists. But yeah, he's great, and there's been some... we recovered his phone call. I didn't do it. We didn't do it. Somebody did it. Joey, it's on Joey's TCAP channel if you're interested in seeing that. His phone call is pretty good too. He does at one point, he does like a laugh, and it's really bad because I've been doing this laugh for the past few months. I've been doing this laugh, and that he does. It's like ha 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 ha. He's been doing it's something like that. So I've been doing that as like my own like nervous laugh that I do in my personal life. I do that ha 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 ha, and people just think I'm being weird. I'm being funny. I mean, I am being weird. I'm quoting I'm doing a laugh of a guy's phone call to a predator's phone call from over 10 years ago. So it is weird, but people don't know what it's from, and it's just it's insane. Well, let's get into it here. Stanley Kendall. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get into it.
Well, they haven't turned the mix on.
Back at the house, Perverted Justice is getting ready for the next potential predator. He's also in his 50s.
All right, I'm going to hang up. I'll run down and I'll meet you at the door.
Dan, in actor Dateline Hired, is pretending to be a...
Dan, this flamboyant decoy, is he the best? I think he's the best male decoy in all of TCAP and HVP. I mean, it wasn't even a male decoy. It was a 64-year-old male decoy. But... yeah, he's one of the better decoys, even in the history of the show, I think. Even counting the females, he's one of the best. They should have brought him back for HVP. He could probably pass for 13 more than the guy that they actually had do it, right? All right, let's go.
14-year-old boy.
Okay, he should be making the turn on Westminster and onto High Point.
Look at that. They're actually like briefing him. They're briefing him on the Predators. They're having him talk on the phone. They definitely put a little bit more effort into it. Maybe this guy just wanted to go above. Dan is his name. He wanted to go above and beyond, perhaps, and really, hopefully that this great performance in TCAP would set his acting career forward. I don't think that happened, but I admire him for putting his heart and soul into it. Not pulling some bullshit like, who lives here? I live here. Me, my mommy, my daddy. You're going to take a look at this. My dad made this.
A phone giving directions to our next visitor.
How you doing, Stanley? Doing good? Tough drive?
Oh, so much.
He's 54-year-old.
But there are just some moments in TCAP that are just upper tier, top tier moments, and this is one of them right here. How you doing, Stanley? Doing good?
How you doing, Stanley? Doing good?
And what is that car that you're driving, Stanley? What is that?
Visitor.
How you doing, Stanley?
I don't even know what the hell that is. It's like, what are these? This car is just, this is not a good ride, Stanley. I mean, you're how old is he? He's in his 50s at this point. He's like 54 or something like that. Yeah, I mean that's you don't have any kids, Stanley. You don't have any wife or boyfriend, right? You don't have anything like that. Why are you driving this car, man? Just drive like a normal sedan, man. You'll be a lot less creepy if you just drive the normal sedan, Stanley. How you doing, Stanley? Doing good?
Doing good?
Stanley is so happy.
Tough drive?
Look at him. He even puts
He's
a little
54
he even
year
puts a little pep into his step right there. That's pretty interesting. Stanley probably hasn't ran in years, but he gets a chance to get some underage tail. And he puts a little pep into his step. That's pretty cool right there. Look at that. Stanley.
He's 54-year-old
So excited. Look at
Stanley
this picture.
Kendall. Using the screen name Stanimac 12,
Stanimac 12.
he initiates a chat
He's
with
got it in all caps too. He's got a case of the Palombos where he puts everything into all caps. Stanimac 12. Except he doesn't put his chat into all caps. But his screen name at least is in all caps. He's got a case of the Palombos.
decoy posing as a 13-year-old boy. Just 3 minutes later, Stanimac 12 says, "I would like to play if possible." The decoy asks, like what? Stanimac describes in graphic and very specific detail what he wants to do with the boy sexually. The decoy acts a bit.
Chris Hansen is going to say this line. It's fucking great. I fucking love that. I love to suck cock, play with and lick nipples. Where is that in the Bible? Oh my god, that is great. That is fucking great. I love this. I love this right here. The complete with the picture and everything. It's fucking great. I fucking love it. But yeah, that's another thing. During his phone call, he says he likes to play. Are you gonna talk or are we gonna play? He doesn't want to talk. He just wants to play if possible. Come on, Stanley. Stanley, all about playing. You're a player, Stanley.
Shocked.
Oh my god, I never have done anything yet.
Would you like to?
I don't know.
I like younger guys to play with. Do you want to play or try?
Try.
Oh, okay. I'm 13 though. That cool with you?
As long as you don't call the police.
A little later, the potential predator sends a photo
Oh,
of his genitals
no.
and asks the
And it's
decoy,
funny because I've seen it. I've fucking seen this unblurred. Not this exact picture unblurred, but I've seen Stanley's junk. It's not great. Ugh, I wouldn't recommend that you try and look for that. Although if you want to, go ahead. I don't really care, but I don't recommend it. Is what I'm trying to say.
Do you want to play with it?
Stanley's a disgusting fuck, man. He is a disgusting fuck, man. He has a lot wrong with him, I think.
Well, only if you're nice to me, and don't make fun of me if I don't do something right.
Of course I can teach you by doing it to you.
School's in session.
Ironically,
Stanley, of course, being a teacher, he could pull out the Charles Lawrence line and say, "School's in session." Ha ha ha. Look at this fucking guy right here. Oh man.
it turns out that teaching is something the man now entering
Look at
our
this
house
outfit,
knows
man.
a lot about.
Look at this outfit, man. Stanley, not great at fashion. Not great with the fashion sense here. I mean, he's got the Cosby sweater on. He's got the dress shirt under it. He's wearing like a windbreaker and pants with tucked in. You know, Stanley. And he's got the thick like 1970s 60s glasses. Stanley needs a makeover. Yeah, Stanley's not looking too great here. And he's got, here's the infamous pool table. You ever do it on a pool table? Mm-hmm.
A drink. You thirsty? No? Can I pour one for myself? Mind? No? All right.
See, that's kind of unrealistic, though. No 13-year-old would ever have the balls to say, you know, is going to lead the conversation like this, man. Especially when you're dealing with a complete creepo that looks like this. I don't know, I find it to be unbelievable that, you know, first of all, this is a ridiculous setup in this house, man. You have a bar just kind of randomly there. Just kind of randomly there. And there's only one stool. It's like, if you're walking down these stairs here, it's going to be a little tight because you got like this bar here it shouldn't be there, and you have the one stool, and it's like you're going to be a little bit cramped coming around the bend here if you want to go play pool, for instance. But I don't know, it just looks like that bar is in a place. I don't know, maybe the bar was a part of the house, but maybe they moved it or something just to make it look better for television, because it's like it looks like a sitcom. if you on sitcoms, for like they always put the characters in the center of the room. They're not, if they're like at a restaurant, for instance, they put the table there, and then they'll have the chairs going all around it, but not on the side that would face the camera, because that would block the shot, of course, right? So it's something like that. It looks like that, or like when they're on an airplane on a show, they'll put like 3 rows of seats, but like not 3 rows, but like 3 columns, instead of there being like on both sides of the plane. They put one in the middle, and they have the characters sit in the middle because you can see them easier. But no plane looks like that. It's like it looks like a sitcom set. That's what I'm trying to say here. It took me probably too many words to just say it, but it looks like a sitcom set. Okay, and then we're just like, they just put it there because that's the best place for the camera. And these guys, they never realize. They never fucking realize. It looks like a setup. I fucking love it. They're just so fucking horny, man. They don't even know. They don't notice. A few of them pick up on it, but not the vast majority do not.
What do you think we should start with?
What do you think?
And he's so happy.
I don't know. It's up to you.
So what was the lesson plan for tonight?
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Sorry for what?
I thought this was a joke.
You thought what was a joke?
No, I should have known better.
What did you think it
So
was?
Stanley says, "Oh, I thought this was a joke, but I should have known better." He's like, "Oh, damn. The whole time I was just going along with a joke. I have a lot of practical jokers. A guy named Kevin set me up." So he says that. He says, "But I thought I was just going along with a joke, and I should have been smarter to realize, hey, this could have been a sting. It could have been a setup. That's my bad." Oh, Stanley.
Truly a setup.
And why would somebody try to do a setup like this?
To catch people that shouldn't be talking.
His
to
head is
teenagers.
moving, man.
People like you.
Definitely. Well, this is the first time I've done this.
The first time.
With a underage person, yes.
While he claims
His head's
fantasy
bobbling.
of-
His head is bobbling and weaving, blah, 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 as he's talking, man. I don't know what the hell you're doing, Stanley. Is that just a nervous reaction, Stanley? That you gotta bob your head around when you're trying to tell a lie? That's not great, Stanley. That's not great at all. It's not selling it. You think it's unnatural. It's unnatural. That's what it is. It's unnatural.
Teaching a young boy the sexual ropes was all a joke. What he does for a living is nothing to laugh at.
And he's got that permanent wrinkle in his forehead. I don't know what that is. It's permanently there. It's like his skin doesn't fit on his face anymore. It's very odd. I don't know. I can't remember another instance where someone looks like that, or has a forehead that looks like that. I mean, John Dupay's forehead got wrinkled with worry, but I think his forehead is just like this permanently. It just looks like he's got, because his eyebrows aren't up or anything; they're in their normal spot. And man, these glasses are absolutely atrocious for the time period, especially. That's not a good glass. Those aren't good glasses, Stanley. What are you doing? You can help yourself out just by dressing a little bit nicer, man. Maybe you wouldn't be such a freak and have to hit on 13-year-olds if you just dressed a little nicer, Stanley. But anyways, he's got this wrinkled forehead. It's just like, it just looks like it's stretched. It's like he's trying to stretch his skin. Is just stretching out, trying to fit onto his face, but it doesn't work. He's got to get like one of those, I don't know if there's like a formal expression for it, but they say like, oh yeah, your face is stapled to the back of your head. Stanley needs one of those.
I teach math.
And what grade?
Teach math.
6th, 7th, and 8th grade.
6th, 7th, and 8th grade. So you teach kids who are about the same age as the boy you thought you were going to visit tonight.
Yes.
Hey man,
That raises an obvious question. If you're willing to have a conversation like this and come visit a 13-year-old boy, what have you been doing with students?
definitely not
Definitely
this.
not this.
And why?
But it's interesting. I wonder what kind of teacher Stanley was, because Stanley's fucking old, man. Although he's only in his mid 50s, or early to mid 50s. Jesus Christ. He looks like he's much older. I don't know. I believe he was just a substitute teacher. I could be wrong about that. I know he was a substitute teacher after this, and he got caught, or not caught, but when he moved to Indiana, and he took a teaching gig, a substitute teaching gig, and they didn't know about him being on TCAP. But like, do you think those kids? They found out, oh yes, we got a sub, and it's Mr. Kendall. Oh man, it's gonna be the greatest fucking. It's gonna be a day off, you know. It's gonna be a free period. They're probably Mr. Kendall's probably like, students, can I have your attention, please? But no, and then he turns around to like write something on the whiteboard or the smart board. Do they still have smart boards? We had those shits in every classroom when I was in school, man. Even like the art room. They never were used in the art room. I don't know why they wasted the resources to put one in the fucking art room. But yeah, that's going off topic here. But yeah, he would be like writing something. I can't figure out this damn contraption. How the hell do you work this thing? And people would be like throwing paper at him. Because 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, those are the worst years for kids. Those are when they're at their most snotty. They're at their most give you the most attitude. That they definitely would have fucked with Stanley Kendall, the teacher. No, not fuck him. Don't fuck him. But they would definitely troll this guy. They would throw like pencils, erasers at him. They would be like, setting up, hey guys, at 12:30 on the dot, we all drop our pencil and get this guy to react, man. Because I remember the substitutes, man. That's a tough job, man. That is a tough job. No one cares about you. You're the lowest totem on an already low-paying profession, right? It's a tough job, man. It is a tough job getting a bunch of snot-nosed kids to listen to you, to respect you. I definitely feel for them. I mean, I understand. I mean, I remember what we did to subs when I was a kid, growing up. It's just like, that some of them were just scarred for life. And I hope that Stanley had a rough time. I hope that those kids gave Stanley a rough time. Because if I know 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, they're going to give everybody a hard time. So I hope that they gave Stanley a hard time. Because he deserves it. Fuck you, Stanley.
Can I believe you?
Because I've successfully taught school for 23 years.
Kendall says he has 4 children of his own, but hasn't seen them in years.
Yeah.
As a parent,
Stanley's the mother of his children, I think they fled to Mexico. Not fled, but they ditched Stanley. They woke up one day and they were gone, and they went to Mexico. And Stanley's another piece of shit here also, because he claims I forgot where it came out, but during one of the phone calls, the troll phone calls, he admitted to touching his kids when they were changing diapers. When he was changing their diaper, he claimed that he played with their baby penises. That's fucked up, Stanley. Don't do that. Don't do that, Stanley. You deserve everything that happened to you. Too bad you got off because of the stupidity of the Murphy police and Chris Hansen and perverted justice. Because you deserve to be locked up. You deserve to be locked up for a long, long, long time.
With a 54-year-old man coming to visit a 13-year-old kid?
Of course not. I honestly didn't think he was 13, and I thought about driving away when I saw him at the door.
And like so many other men in his predicament,
so many people say that. Oh yeah, I was gonna walk away. But then there's no hesitation, Stanley. You put the most pep into your step that you've ever had, and you've ever done before when you saw that this kid. I just showed it to you. We just saw it, Stanley. Come on.
Brings up religion.
Probably I was thinking the part of me that's Christian was going to talk him out of it.
So what part of the Bible
Don't do it.
tells you to say all this kind of stuff here in the chat? I'd love to play with
Like I
and lick
said,
nipples and lick and you?
There's
Where is that in the Bible? Explain.
There's a human.
Is that the Old Testament or the New Testament?
Neither.
Chris Hansen's not buying your shit, Stanley. He's not buying your shit. Look Look at that face. Is that the face of somebody who believes your story, Stanley? I think that's what gets Chris Hansen a little bit peeved off more than some other things, is when they bring up, religion. Part of me that's Christian was gonna talk him out of it. It's like, first of all, you're full of shit. You're acting like Chris Hansen doesn't have the chat logs, right? But it's like you expect that to be a thing. Like, there's no other guy from Murphy. Was it Randall Walford who said it? The oil dwelling consultant who said that Jesus Christ is his savior and he'll believe me. That's why you should believe me, or something like that. Yeah, that like, you expect that excuse to work. You really expected that excuse to work. Yeah, it's pretty stupid. That's a pretty stupid excuse. Yeah, I mean, it's like no one's gonna say, "Oh, you're religious." Oh, okay, then you're off the hook. Then that's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Let's watch it again, because this is an all-time great Hansen singer here, and Hansen's got the sophisticated look here. I mean, the turtleneck is a bit odd. I don't know why he kind of wore the turtleneck. But Hansen's looking great here. Hansen was, full of confidence at this point in the sting. That's why he's like, "Yo, we can go to that district attorney's house and fucking bring a SWAT team to the district attorney's house and nab him because I'm just so full of confidence right now after roasting these guys for so long. I mean, I've got it down. I've got it down. Brought a SWAT team." That's how Dark Hero said it. Dark Hero had an interview and he said that. It's fucking great. All right, let's go.
Allows you to say all this kind of stuff here in the chat. I'd love to play with,
Like I
and lick
said,
nipples and lick and you. Where is that in the Bible? Explain that to me.
There's a human part
Is that
of
the
me
Old
that
Testament or the New
sins.
Testament?
Neither. I am truly sorry, and I'm not going to be in that chat room anymore. I have learned my lesson.
It's funny now because he says that. He learned his lesson. He got off. He got a fucking break. He got the biggest break ever, right? And he was caught 10 years later doing the same thing. Except he didn't get arrested for it again, unfortunately. But it brings you up. How long was he doing this in the past? What was he doing in the intermittent 10 years? I don't think the troll job that was done by Joey and the others that were involved. I can't remember all of them right now, but I don't think that was the first time since this sting that he was trying to meet and do things with underage kids. I don't think it was. So, he fucking fuck you, and he got off, and now he's dead. Which is probably the biggest relief that he can't do this anymore. Fuck you, Stanley. Fucking piece of shit.
With Dateline and DC. And we're doing a story on men
God!
who try to meet kids online for sex.
I'm truly sorry. I have learned my lesson. Thank you for helping me with it. I am an excellent teacher and want to stay that way.
But it's doubtful he'll ever be back in the classroom. He said he's never seen our reports, so he has no idea what's going to happen when he opens that front door.
Police department, get on the ground! Put your hands behind your back! Behind your back!
Just lost my job. That's all you have, Stanley, is your job.
Detectives search his car and gather evidence.
Paper with screen names. Directions to the house.
Put your feet against the wall here.
MapQuest is still a thing, actually. I actually went on it just as a, look at this, man. Oh, man, so mid-2000s. MapQuest directions, small-ass digital camera. Yeah, but I went on MapQuest just because I was curious. And I saw, it's still out, it's still up. I don't know who the hell is using it. But, yeah, it is still around.
Photographed.
And where do you work?
Booked.
Let's go up this way.
And brought in for questioning.
For the record, I'm very nervous. I'm shaking.
Oh, it's okay. Don't
Oh, yeah, it's okay.
This can ruin me.
The investigator asks him about his online chat. Again, he claims that people often lie online.
in the conversation, I had a gut feeling it was wrong, but I kept going with it, thinking it was a lie.
Yeah, you know, you're such an idiot. Once you see that someone says that they're 13, that's when you shut the conversation down. That's what any normal law-abiding person would do. You see that they're 13 or underage, right? You see that, and you just assume that they're telling the truth, right? And that's when you shut it down. But you don't do that. You didn't do that. Fuck you, Stanley. You fucking idiot. I hate that excuse. Oh yeah, I thought it was people lie online, man. I don't know what happened, but yeah, it's they're so full of shit. All these guys are so full of shit. Stanley, you're one of them. Look, you fucking asshole, with your Cosby sweater on. What is that? Come on. It's kind of maybe it's a little appropriate. I don't know.
Don't want to lose my job. I'm an excellent teacher, and my principal's going to be so shocked.
Kendall is brought before Judge Hayden.
Man, fuck
this
you.
is a second-degree felony.
And yeah, that principal they were probably thrown into such a jam. They're like, wait, Kendall did what? That guy who doesn't even talk to anybody? That guy who doesn't even have the respect of his students? That guy who is probably the worst teacher that we have at this school? He did what? They were probably so shocked. They're like, wait a second, are you sure you have the right guy? Because he's old, he's ugly. He really fell for that? Yeah, he did. He's a fucking dumbass.
I've set your bail at $50,000.
Chief Myrick immediately contacted the local police department where the teacher works.
I felt like my best resource was to contact the school's police department and talk to them and let them take over on that end to ensure that this man could not get close to those students again.
In fact, the teacher has been placed on administrative leave. Then they were transported to the Collin County Jail. That was more than 3 months ago.
I know there's several of them that are still in jail.
Still?
Yes, sir.
Open 3.
Yeah.
A grand jury will hear their...
Do you think Stanley bailed out? I don't think so. Which is pretty cool.
Cases in...
All right, but that's it. That's Stanley. Stanamac 12. Fucking one of the biggest creepos, one of the biggest pieces of shit that ever was on this show. He learned his lesson, but he didn't learn his lesson. You're an asshole, Stanley. Somehow you got a gift of freedom. You got to walk away scot-free, and you were still a big piece of shit after that. So you know what? You can go to hell. I hope. Well, he is already in hell. He's dead. So he can go. He's probably already in hell if it exists. All right, that's gonna do it. That'll do it. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.